Thanks, Yesh. Appreciate the introduction. What Nimal and Yesh had asked me to do is really talk about, lay up the future of communication so that the next panelist can actually explain what the future is, because I have no bloody idea what the future of communication is. But I do have an idea of what the history of communication is, right? How did we get here? 25 years ago, we were born. At least Nimal's baby was born, third baby. How we communicate has changed since then. 4 things have happened. Modes that we communicate has changed. The speed in which we communicate has changed. The targets we reach have changed. And the goal of communication has changed. Right. Let's talk about the mode. My sister is in the audience. I think 25 years ago, one of the early employees at Bates as well. This is how I communicated with her. I was in the US studying at the time. I don't know, Tilak, you mentioned there's a lot of folks who are older, they remember this, the aerogram. From aerogram, we went to Eudora. You got mail. Man, I was so excited to get 2 emails a day. What happened to that? Now I can't even read the emails that I get. Then we got the texting. With this phone, we used to text. I used to text my then girlfriend, now wife, all night long. I don't know, my thumb still survived that, right? Facebook came, WhatsApp came, and now we are communicating. The mode of communication has been instant, facial. Wherever we are, we're communicating. From aerogram to FaceTime. The speed has changed. So if you look at telephone, to reach consumers, it took 50 years. 50 million consumers in 50 years. Television took 22 years. Cell phones, 12. Facebook, anybody can guess how long it took to reach 50 million? 3 years. Pokemon Go, how long did that take? 19 days. Can you imagine that? The modes change. At the modes, the speeds changed. With that, the targets changed. 25 years ago, we were talking about mass media. One blanket advertising for everybody. Today, Prashis will talk about Google AdWords and try to sell Google to us. It's more customized, right? We have more customer segments that we advertise in. Tomorrow, it's going to be with all artificial intelligence, IoT, and wearables, etc. Communication will be personalized, hyper-personalized to me. We will be talking to even the smallest consumer out there, individually.
A road diverges in the desert. Lexus.
Actually, let me give an introduction to this, sorry. So, basically, the speed, mode, and target has changed. How many of you guys have watched the movie Minority Report? Best movie, if you haven't watched it, that is considered in our generation the most futuristic movie of our generation. So here, it really talks, this clip really shows how personalized advertising is going to be in the future.
A road diverges in the desert. Lexus. The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. Make sure you follow time.
Good evening. You can move the old-fashioned John Anderton provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton, you can use a Guinness right about now. Stressed out, John Anderton.
Escape from it all, Harrison. Get away, John Anderton. Forget your troubles.
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap. How those assorted tank tops work out for you?
That's hyper-personalized advertising. When you walk down the airport, ads will talk to you about me because they have my personal profile. They know everything that I buy, what I've eaten, where I have gone, everything is there. In this particular Minority Report, it was basically from the eyeball. That's how the whole image, the identity was monitored. Right, so we talked about mode. Changing mode led to a change in speed. Speed led to the target. From the target, the goal of who we are reaching is also changed. Earlier, it was about brand awareness. Let's saturate the market. Anchor, 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 anchor all over the place, right? That was 25 years ago. Today, it's not about creating brand awareness. It's about creating a fan base for your brand. It's about creating a fan base. And to create a fan base, you need to build relationships with your fans. So it's about building relationships. To build relationships, so the end goal is really to build relationships. To build relationships, there's three things. There's a left-hand box and a right-hand box. The left-hand box, and most often we try to do both. The same company tries to do both. It's really two different things. Technology, big data, and predictive analysis, that's the tech team will do that. Then there is the right-hand box, which you need to have intelligence, listen to your consumers, and understand your consumers. Stories, we don't tell them anything anymore. It's about sharing stories. Touch points, multitude of touch points around that we can touch our fan base with. And then innovation. It's about really testing out our ideas. You put a product or a campaign out, test it with a few customers, then bring it back and see how it hits. That's the future of communication as I see it. Thank you.